Hello, my name is Pam, and today I'm going to teach you how to knook with the Tunisian needle. The picture that I have on my tablet is knook needles, and you can see that there's a hole at the end, just like a sewing needle. And they put yarn or a special cord through that, and as they knit, they pull all the loops off onto the cord, and then they knit all the loops back up on the needle, and then they do it again. But today I'm going to teach you how to knook with a Tunisian needle. So let me just go around at my table and I'll show you how to knook with a Tunisian needle. Okay, first of all, I found that only the twang works for this. I've tried like a shoestring. I tried different other things to use for this, and the best thing is the twang. I even used yarn, which is okay, but the problem is you can accidentally knit or crochet the yarn into your fabric, which is going to mess everything up for you. But let me show you. I'm on the knitted side, so we're going to knit on this side. And I have this little loop so I can pull it through, but you really don't have to do that. It kind of gets caught a little bit because I got it taped. But I can show you both ways on how to do this. So here's my Tunisian needle, and you just put it through the loop. And when you knit, you're going to have the yarn in front of your work, or no, behind your work. I'm sorry. That's purling in front, but you're going to have this behind your work, and then you just go through the loop. You just take the needle through the loop and pull this through the loop, and you go across like this. And I have a nice background sound with crackling fire, and I will show you my video on that when I'm done with teaching you how to knook. I always like to have a nice background sound with my videos. And I hope everybody can see this okay, because I can't tell with my phone if you can see me or not. I'm just doing the best I can with this. My husband was going to actually help me with this, but he had to go somewhere today. And I have this beautiful sparkly purple yarn, and you can see the nice knitted side that I have. And then this is the purling side. And I love this new way of knitting. I think it's so neat. I think it's so much easier than the old way. And if you have Tunisian needles and you don't have the knook needles, you really don't need them if you know how to do it the way I'm showing you. Sometimes I give it just a slight little tug to straighten the cord out, but I always try to keep this even on both sides so I don't accidentally pull it off while I'm knitting. I noticed that knitting also curls like Tunisian. I don't know what you do to get rid of that curling. I did try to single crochet at the bottom, but that didn't seem to work very well. If anybody has any tips on this or how to stop the curling, please let me know. And one of the things I really like is I took this with me to my husband's appointment, and I loved it because with knitting needles, you almost feel like you're taking weapons with you because they're sharp and long. They almost look like swords or something. And you can't hurt anybody with this. You can't poke yourself with this. And if you have little ones around, I mean, I guess they could hurt themselves with it, but they can't really poke themselves too much with this in as a knitting needle. So since I have Tunisian needles, I threw most of my knitting needles away. I only kept a couple of my favorite knitting needles because it's like I don't need knitting needles anymore, especially since I discovered this new way of knitting. I don't ever need knitting needles ever again, and I don't think I would ever go back to the old way of knitting since I discovered this new way. Okay, so now what you do is when you get to the very end here, you're going to just pull this thread, and I always like to pull it where the square is so I don't accidentally pull it off my loops off my hook. So I take and yank that, and now I can show you how to do it with this little loop, but then I can show you how not to do it with the loop. But I think it works okay, but you don't really need this loop. So I just put it on there, and it's kind of stiff, so it can be kind of hard. And I just pull it through. And you kind of got to be a little patient with getting it through the loops. Now, if you get the knook cord, maybe it would be easier. I don't know. I'm not sure what that's made out of. But so far, I find that the twine works the best. I've already spent money on stuff that didn't work. Like I bought some knitting needles that are connected, and I cut them off, and it was a big piece of plastic cord that wasn't flexible. It wouldn't work. I bought this shoestring stuff that didn't work. So it's like, I think I'm just going to stick with the twine because that's what works the best with this. And I like the twine because with yarn you could accidentally knit or crochet it into the fabric, but this would be hard to do this with this twine. And then I just try to even it out, make both ends the same, and then you turn it, and now you got your purl side of the stitching. Now we're going to purl, and this goes, I got to straighten this out. And I use a paper towel roll to wrap my yarn in a paper towel stand, and it makes knitting and crochet a lot easier, even when I'm doing my loom, my knitting loom. And now we're going to have the yarn in front of our work, and then you just purl. Sometimes I straighten the cord out just a little. I give it a slight little tug to straighten it out a little bit. And you want to stay on top of the cord, twang or rope, whatever you want to call this, so you know your stitching works out for you. Okay, now I like to pull from this where the square is because it stops the fabric from going off the needle. But because I have this loop here, I got to pull this way, so I just hold my work with my fingers as I pull. So let's just try it without the loop. So we'll just take a piece and we kind of hold it like we have the loop. And I'll show you how you can do that without that. You just weave it through here. Takes a little patience, guiding it through. Now wait a minute, let me see. So it does help with having that loop. It just makes it a little tougher to get it through there, but you know, kind of just, even this is kind of getting stuck a little, but it does seem like the twang works the best. But you could use yarn. I think it's because it's splitting a little bit because I've been using it a lot. So, I mean, if anybody finds a better material out there, my yarn is getting twisted, let me know. And I hope that you guys can see this good. Okay, and then I just try to make it even, you know, as best I can. So now the loop is at this end, but then we're going to flip it around. So now the loop is over here. And now we're going to knit on this side, if you can see. I made a little mistake over here where I did purling instead of knitting, but I was like, I'm not going back. So then you just knit across now. Seems like the knitting goes a little quicker across. And I could even show you a knitted hat so you could see the difference between a loom knitted hat or a sweater that I have, to see how much this looks like knitting. Okay, now all you do is pull it off, and we're going to pull it off towards the little square here. And you can see the really beautiful knitted stitches and the purl stitches on the back. And then if you want to do the end with the loop, you just put it on here and weave it through the loops again. And just be patient, take your time doing this, you know. I mean, it's not too bad. It seems to glide through there if you're slow with it. You know, just kind of glide it through it, you know. You just have to be patient as you're weaving the twine through the loops. And then make sure it's even on both sides. And I will show you some my sweater and my hat so you can see how much it looks like knitting. Okay, this is a loom knitted hat, the silver hat, material, and then that's a sweater I bought at Walmart. Let me see if I could zoom in so you can see the stitching better. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you can see the stitching better. Let me turn the camera where you can see the stitching better as I zoom in, but you can see where, well, if the loom knitted hat, you can really see how it looks just like knitting. And the piece above the purple knitted material is the basket weave that I did in nooking, and you can see how it looks a lot like the basket weave. This is American flag that I'm doing for my son's birthday. It is single crocheted. I kind of been taking a break from it because I've been trying to learn how to knook, but I do want to work on this again soon. My son's birthday is in December, but I definitely want to get this done. I only have a few more stripes to go and I'll have this flag done. So you can see that I just have some more stripes to do on the flag and it'll be done. And I'll show you some of my other flags. So here's some more American flags that I did. They're all single crochet. And then I did the stars by making a white X and an extra line on top to make it look like stars. Here's a coaster that I made my husband. It's a half single crochet. And I think it really kind of looks like knitting. Let me zoom in on this. I mean, it really makes me think of knitting. And this is all my Tunisian squares that I have made. The blue one is the basket weave stitch. The only thing I didn't like is it's not reversible on the back side. I have the gotta try to remember all the names of these things that I did. But so I did different ones. I did the smock stitch in the middle. So that's my little blanket I made. And this is the back side of my blanket. So I gotta get back into my Tunisian things. I got a review on how to do the backward pass because it's been a while, because I've been crocheting quite a bit. And then I'll show you the beautiful fireplace background that I have for the video. So this is my fireplace sound. I love hearing fire crackling in the background. But this is the background sound that I chose to use. And I do a lot of inspirational videos where I speak inspirational sayings with a beautiful background scene. So if you like to watch my other videos, you can click onto my channel and watch those as well. And I hope that you enjoyed my video today. You have a blessed day.